You're live. Good morning. You're live, and I'm grateful. How's it going, fam? Uh, I'm Elliot. It's nice to be with you in this moment. I'm just going to share a thought, concept that might be useful to a bunch of people / everyone. I watched with my family this last couple of days this Netflix docu-series, or whatever. It's not. It was like based on a true story. Some of these scenes didn't actually happen. They've been dramatized for Netflix effect. Yeah, called Dirty John. Short story is crazy monster of a human being attempts to destroy everything for its own sake, and I almost don't want to ruin it because I was like ugh through the whole thing, and then in the end I was like, yeah. But yeah, it's basically it's a story. It's a true story based on a true story of essentially domestic abuse. But the reason that I bring it up is that it hits home on a lot of things I think that people experience in one way or another in their life if they pay attention. And the thing that I want to hit, the one thing that I want to talk about most is its use of love, the word. Because basically they, one of the characters qualifies, like basically the main female, her mother, qualifies her actions, and she qualifies her own actions. Because, well, he really loves you, or he really loved that person. It's a whole, they throw it all over the place, and you can just use it in your own life. I love you, but I love you. Yeah, but I really loved you. He looks happy. Yeah, he looks really happy. Yeah, there was love there. That's the biggest load of shit ever. Excuse my little bit of like stuttering and whatever, because I just woke up and I'm not through my first cup of coffee. But I'm not gonna wait, otherwise I'd get caught up doing other things in my life. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna talk some shit on YouTube, and I forgot. Speaking of which, cheers. And the truth is that none of those motherfuckers loved anybody. The two daughters, they were loving. They were awesome. They were like so awesome. I'd be, in the end, or whatever, like I'd be really proud of raising those two. I mean, it's a show, and I don't really know them in real life, but the way that they were portrayed, both of them, fucking rad. People excuse all kinds of monstrous behavior on account of love all the time. And really, I'd say the first fundamental issue, and this happens with all kinds of words, is that when one person says love and another person says love, they both usually, statistically, mean very different things, but they use the same word. So they think that they mean the same thing. So they agree, but they don't fucking agree. And when then when that becomes apparent, they argue with the evidence or the conflict being like, but we agreed. I love you. You love me. What is love? And that's on purpose, to create separation between us all. For how many different things can you love? And I love pizza. I love my dog. I love my mom. I love all those things very differently, but I use the same word. And that doesn't reflect love. That reflects our lack of our linguistic ability to convey true meaning. So let me go to basically the title of this thing. Love is not stationary. Love is not a thing. I love you is a nice thing to say, but unless you express it and interpret it with the understanding that I love you means I am loving you in this moment continuously, right? It's not like a state that exists just forever when you leave it alone. It's a state that lasts forever because you live it. Right? It's like your live. You're alive. You can say, I was alive. I'm not alive I'm alive is less accurate than I'm living. As soon as I say I'm alive, I'm talking about the moment that just passed. I'm talking about something that doesn't move. I'm talking about something that's not alive. Same thing with love. And people excuse all kinds of fucked up behavior because they love. But I love and I love. But when you do something fucked up, you're not, and like mean, you're not loving someone when you do that. You can love someone and be loving towards them and then do something really not fucking loving towards them. And then that's not love, right? You can do some pretty fucked up things from like a loving place. And then it gets complex. Because loving isn't all horseshoes, rainbows, and unicorns. There's conflict and in loving, because there's resolution in loving, and there's growth in loving, there's pain in loving. But I love you isn't this place. Anyways, so this woman, and I don't blame any of them, we're all kind of elements of our environment and our conditioning and the pressures for survival and what we're willing to do to survive. And for the last, I'd say, solid 500-600 years, the most loving people were killed because they weren't willing to not love, to stay alive. And that's good loving. So I guess the moral of the story, because I don't want to fucking talk too long about this, talking to no one but anyone, because I'm trying to talk to you, whoever you are, is frustrating for me. Because it's not real communication. But it's my best attempt, our best attempt at this time. When someone says I love you, it's kind of like, it's a kind of, I want to say almost like it's like a social, it's a linguistic social structure. Like, I'm a yoga teacher, you know, or I'm a brother, or I'm a father. I'm not a father, I am a brother. I'm an uncle. It's like a title describing kind of who you are in that moment as a result of your actions in the past or the recent past or anything like that. You know, like, I'm a doctor. Well, a doctor has a pretty set definition. It has pretty set expectations as to what that means. And straight up, I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to med school. And that's generally, I don't have a PhD, because that's part of the fucked up language thing, right? Like, doctors, we automatically assume medicine, but anybody with a PhD is also a doctor. So then it gets all hazy in your mind, and that's on purpose. Anyways, I'm not a doctor. So saying I'm a doctor doesn't make me a doctor. It's the same thing with I love you. Saying I love you doesn't mean that you're loving. And everybody has different interpretation of love. You know, like, love means different things to different people. Yeah. But there is such a thing as, like, objective loving. Loving is like a movement of the universe. Loving is a thing. And loving is a thing. Loving is a thing. Love is not a thing. It's a movement. Loving is a describing word. Or phrase. And when someone loves you, you can describe how they love you. And when describing how they love you sounds like abuse, that's not loving. And when we excuse that behavior, we perform an injustice for love. Yeah, but, they didn't this or they didn't that. Ugh. But they had this and they had that. Yeah, I don't fucking care. Right? It's fucked up the way we take on the responsibility of loving for other people. This person's fucked up, but they said they love me, so I'm going to I'm just going to take their abuse and I'm going to try and fix them, because the social condition is that someone's going to come along and fix me. And the social condition is that we're all broken. It's all perception. And you can be perfect. You can have nothing wrong with you. You can be a really good lover. Because intention really counts for a lot. Maybe loving is an intention. So I don't know. There's everything wrong about trying to teach on YouTube. But that's another video. I love you. That's constant. And I do everything that I do because I do. It's true. Namaste.